Hi friends, my name is krishnaakumalla. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss on insolvency. When a person would become insolvent, what circumstances he would become insolvent, and how that is related to bills of exchange. So suppose if Droy became insolvent, how the treatment has to be given, what journal entries we have to post, how to recover that amount. All these topics we are going to discuss today. Okay? Without wasting much time, let us get into the topic. Okay? Okay, guys. What do you mean by insolvency? Suppose if my assets are 1 lakh and my liabilities are 2 lakhs, liabilities are lakhs and my assets are 1 lakh. My assets are 1 lakh, my liabilities are 2 lakhs. That means what? Even if I sell my all assets, I am not in a position to pay this 2 lakhs liability. I am not in a position to pay this 2 lakhs liability. Generally, when we prepare the balance sheet, how do you make sure my assets total and my liabilities total should tally? That means what? I'm balancing the assets and liabilities. I should make sure that I balance my assets and liabilities. Correct? If my assets are less and liabilities are more, that means I'm not in a position to pay my liabilities. I'm not in a position to pay my liabilities. So that is when you call that person as insolvent. That is when you call that person as insolvent. This person, what he will do is, he will legally approach and say, I'm sorry, I'm not in a position to pay my liabilities, so hence declare me as an insolvent. They will file a bankrupt case, saying that, boss, I'm not in a position to pay my liabilities because my assets are not sufficient to pay my liabilities, hence I'm declaring myself as an insolvent. I became an insolvent. So, when do we call a person as an insolvent? If his liabilities are more than assets and not in a position to pay those liabilities, that is when we treat that person as become bankrupt or insolvent. Now, how that has a relation to our bills of exchange? Let us understand that. Let us say A and B, there are two parties. A sold goods to B. A sold goods to B. What he will do? B account debit to sales account. This is the entry he will write. And what B will write? Purchases account debit and A account credit. So A will become a creditor in his books and A books, B will become a debtor. Are you clear so far? Now, what happened? Immediately after selling goods, A draws a bill on B. A draws a bill on B. So what he will do? Bills receivable account debit because it is an asset for him and he will credit B account. Now you see, when he sold goods, he debited B. When he wrote the bill, he credited B. So B account as a debtor will get nullified, but the B instead of B account, bills receivable will be showing as an asset because that is the amount to be received from B. This is a very important point. B as a debtor has been nullified because I debited B when I sold goods. I credited B when I wrote the bill. So what happened? B account and B account got nullified. Debit and credit got cancelled. What is left now? Bills receivable account. So instead of B, I'm calling it as bills receivable. Amount I have to receive from B. That is what it says here. Similar way, what B will do? He will debit A account and credit bills payable account. Credit bills payable account. Now you see, A was showing as a creditor in his books previously. After writing bills payable, A account was debited and it got nullified, and he is left with bills payable. That means what? He has to pay bills payable to A. Now what happened? B became insolvent. B became insolvent. That means his liabilities are more than his assets, and he is not in a position to pay his liabilities. So hence, B has been declared as an insolvent. So as soon as he became an insolvent, what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to pass a dishonor entry. This is the entry pending in our books, saying that I have to receive this bill amount from B, and B is saying that I have to pay this bill amount to A, right? This is the bill drawn and accepted by and kept it as pending for submission for payment. Now, as soon as he became insolvent, what will happen? You need to immediately write a dishonor entry because he is not in a position to pay. He has been declared as an insolvent. Since he has been declared as an insolvent, he will not be in a position to pay this bill. No one need to tell you that you have to pass a dishonor entry here. No one need to tell you to pass a dishonor entry. The minute in the problem it says that we became a insolvent, you need to post a dishonor entry. What do you mean by dishonor entry? What entry we post? We need to reverse this entry. Then what will happen here? I debit B account. Why again debit B account? B has to pay that amount, no? How to debit B? B account debit, and bills receivable will become nullified because bills receivable is no more applicable. Bills receivable is no more applicable because he became insolvent. He is not going to pay this bill. So we credit to bills receivable account. Now you see, previously B account was debited. When the bill was drawn, we credited B account. B and B got nullified. Now again B has become a debtor in my books. Previously, bills receivable was showing a debit balance as if we are supposed to receive this amount from B. Now bills receivable has become nullified. By posting a dishonor entry, and B account has become debit balance in my books. So that means what? This amount has to be received from B. B will be showing as a debtor in my books. Similar way, what B will do? B will post as a dishonor entry. What dishonor entry he will post? He will debit bills payable account because he has to nullify this bills payable because that is no more applicable. So bills payable account debit to A account. See, again A account is created. Why? Again A become a creditor in his books. He is supposed to pay that amount. Krishna, B became an insolvent. What is the point in showing him as creditor? Is he going to pay this amount to A? Is it possible for B to pay that amount to A? If he is not in a position to pay, why we need to show him as a creditor in his books? That question might arise. Yes. Why? As soon as B become an insolvent, so people will go and file the case in the court. They will approach, legally. Then what will happen? They will appoint a legal heir. Right? So that guy, what he will do? He will sell all the assets. Whatever assets are there with B, he will sell all those assets and he will recover that amount. And in that recovery, whatever assets amount he sold, he should have got some amount, right? In that amount, he will start distributing amount to the different creditors. He has to pay that amount to liabilities, right? So he will pay proportionately. Probably, if I have 100 rupees liability, I might pay 50 paisa. 50 paisa in the sense 50% of my liability. Or if the amount is recovered very less, maybe 30 paisa, maybe 70 paisa. So if I have 100 rupees liability, and if the legal person has decided to pay only 50 paisa, then I will get 50 rupees. 100 into 50 paisa is equal to 50 rupees. If I have 1000 rupees liability, I will the legal person might pay 50 paisa. That means what? 500 rupees I get. 100 into 0.5. Or if he has decided to pay only 30 paisa, 1000 into 0.3, 300 rupees I get. So some portion of the amount he will pay to us. Some portion of amount will be paid to us from his assets. So till such time we show B as a debtor in A books and A as a creditor in B books. As soon as the assets are sold, amount has been recovered, and the amount has been started distributing to the people, then we will get to see how much amount I am going to get. Let us say B is supposed to pay 10,000 rupees. So B is debtor in my books to the extent of 10,000, and B books A is showing as a 10,000 creditor. Now let us say 30 paisa they paid. Let us say 10,000 rupees is supposed to pay. Okay, B is supposed to pay 10,000 rupees, and we have decided, legal person has decided to pay 30 paisa. So 10,000 on 10,000, 30 paisa, if I calculate, it will come to 3,000. How much it will come? It will come to 3,000. So I get 3,000 rupees. So what I will do, what A will do, he receives cash account debit 3,000. Remaining 7,000 he will not get. So that he will transfer to bad debts account, 7,000, and to B account 10,000. This is the entry A has to write. Let us say, again I am repeating, B is supposed to pay 10,000 rupees to us. So B will be showing as a debit balance in my books to the extent of 10,000. You agree? And the legal person has decided to pay 30 paisa. 30 paisa in the sense not total amount 30 paisa. On 10,000, 30%. 10,000, 30% is going to be 3,000 rupees. So cash account debit 3,000. Bad debts account debit 7,000. Why bad debts debit? You are not going to get that amount. Since you are not going to get that amount, bad debts is a loss for you. All expenses and losses are supposed to be debited. So I'm debiting bad debts account to B account 10,000. This is the entry A will write. What B will write? B will is debiting A. A account to debit 10,000. He is supposed to pay 10,000 rupees to cash account 3,000 rupees, and remaining 7,000 is not going to pay. That will be transferred to a separate account called a deficiency account. That will be transferred to a separate account called deficiency account. So this is how the entries are being posted when the person became insolvent. Are you clear? So we are going to do some problems on this topic. Don't worry about it. But you need to understand when the person is going to be an insolvent. When do we call that person as become an insolvent? And if the drawee has become insolvent, how the entries are supposed to be posted and how the account has to be closed. That is what we need to understand. I hope you are clear on this topic. If you are clear, please like the video and share this video with your friends and colleagues. Thank you so much.